Mr. Lamin Jadama, former the SIS, that is State Intelligence Services DG, has been redeployed as Deputy Executive Director to the National Disaster Management Agency. These are the updates from government, and I thank you all for your presence. On the agenda, we'll have NAWEC to present. We'll give the NAWEC MD 10 minutes to discuss and give updates about this institution's activities, priorities, programs, and its vision. As you would recall, he has been recently, about roughly 3 months ago, appointed as the new MD of NAWEC. We'll give him 10-15 minutes to do his presentation. Then we'll take question and answers from him. No, we'll go to Professor Gomez, the Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Science, Research, and Technology, to also do his presentation. And then now we'll open the floor for the media to ask questions. So without much ado, I'd like to call on Mr. Galosidi to come and do his presentation. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum. Honorable ministers, members of the press, and all the participants here today, good morning. This is my first press briefing to the public since I've been appointed as the MD of NAWEC. Now, today I'll keep it very high level. NAWEC is the institution that is the backbone of this country's economy. So if NAWEC is doing well, this economy is going to do well. If NAWEC is not doing well, the economy is not going to do well. So that is the realities of it, and it's one of the biggest institutions in this country under the government. Now, I have been entrusted to come and lead NAWEC. It's a big responsibility, a big load on my shoulders. And I'm aware of the challenges that NAWEC have. And it's not an easy journey. It's going to get worse before it gets better. I know that NAWEC is not very famous right now because of all the issues that are happening. We have in power outages, we have in water shortages. But it doesn't mean that there are no plans in place to try to sort those problems out. So there are a lot of projects right now on the ground happening, both on the water and on the electricity side. So my expectations are within the next year to 2 years, these problems of frequent outages of power and intermittent supply of water will not be 100% resolved, but I would say up to 80–90% resolved. Just remember, this country is growing very fast. If you look at maybe 3, 4, 5 years ago, where the Gambia was before and today, you can see the development is increasing. So a lot of development, where all these roads are going, you see people are building. And this is creating a lot of demand on the network. So NAWEC infrastructure historically is very old. And there hasn't been a lot of investment in the system for many, many, many years. So that is a reality. So if you have all this growth that is coming on, and the expectations are you have to meet the demand 100%, it's not a reality that you can meet. That's the fact. But however, can we do better? The answer is yes. Is there light at the end of the tunnel? The answer is yes. Can the Gambia electricity water supply system be sustainable in a way that it satisfies the Gambian populace? The answer is yes. We can do it. And there are projects in place that is the foundation towards that path. If you look at the roadmap that was set for the Gambia, that electricity access to everybody in this country is a bold vision for this country. And it's not only a vision, it's going to be a reality. One of the best utilities in our region. People can say that it's an outreach. But no, it's a possibility. We have a lot of potential. There are a lot of opportunities for the Gambia because the government have created the enabling environment for investors to come into the Gambia. And it is the private sector that is going to grow and meet the demand that we need to give to meet the expectations of our populace. So because the political environment is stable, the economy is going in the way that is positive, we have a lot of interest from investors coming in. So that is a good thing for this country. So on a nutshell, what I am going to tell the Gambian population, just bear witness with us, bear some patience with us. It's difficult if you don't have water, if you don't have electricity. It's not an easy one. I feel the pain myself, but we are doing something about it. The government have tasked us to do something about it. Just the other day, we have been given some punitive actions because we didn't perform in 2021, 2022. So the SOE Commission have done their job, and His Excellency have said, you have to do better. So therefore, we are going to punish you, which is a good signal to all of us, all Gambians. I take it positively on board, that if you are given responsibility, you have to be held accountable for it. And if you have issues, you have to highlight it, let the public know. If you don't know, then you make assumptions. So there's a lot of things that NAWEC is doing in the background and government is supporting that people don't know, and they are positive things. But because people don't know the positive things, the trigger for the negative things is the power outages and lack of water. And that's why NAWEC is not famous. So maybe we have to do better in our PR area. But for me as an individual and as a Gambian, my vision is in 2 years' time, NAWEC will be one of the best utilities in the sub-region. And it is going to reach out to everybody, not just the GBA, into the provinces everywhere. So on that note, I would like to say to the Gambians, with all the issues that you are having right now, we are very sorry. We are doing something about it. And hopefully, in 2 years' time, we'll come back here and you can hold me accountable. I have my technical team here with me. I would like to bring on the electricity director, so he can just give you a quick brief on the types of projects that will move us from where to the possible.
The projects. We've been working with the World Bank from 2017 to ensure that we have a network that is fit for purpose. Looking at what we are operating in the Gambia here, we have only distribution system. You don't have transmission at different level. You distribute and then you transmit at the same level. Any problem you have on the system will trigger an outage, and that is not fit for purpose. This is why you have transmission and distribution. At the transmission level, you transmit energy, and then at the other level, you distribute at that level to your customers. But this is not happening in our system. We have worked with the World Bank. We had done a feasibility study, 2017, 2018, and we have embarked on a project. Yes, the projects are delayed because of safeguard issues, because we have benchmark that we had to follow. Those have delayed our projects. We have a 225 that should have been commissioned in 2022. Unfortunately, we are still dragging to get that project accomplished because of individual that we had to compensate, and some of them are resisting the compensation. But we hope, with the help of the government, their engagement, that we will be able to accomplish that. So that if the 225 is completed, commissioned, just like the OMBG system, we'll be able to have, for the first time, a transmission line that will help us to evacuate power and then distribute at the lower level. That means stability will be achieved. If that is done, when a fault occurs in one of those lines, you will be able to have stability on the other side. The incident that happened in Bijilo the last time would have been averted because you will have different sources to that supply. But presently, that is not happening. We don't have redundancy in the system. When one fails, the other one cannot operate. The other system cannot operate. Having said that, this is why we have embarked on different projects to ensure that the 225 is commissioned by at least 2024. We have 6 transmission distribution lines from that substation that is in Jabang that will evacuate power to our customers. And those 6 lines will give us the opportunity to ensure when one fails, the others will be able to supply energy. And not only that, if it fails, it will not affect the entire system. But presently, the power that we are evacuating at the 33 kV line, if you lose one, it's just like you are standing with 2 legs, and those 2 legs are carrying the whole load. If one fails, definitely the entire system will collapse, and that what we are faced with. The other issue is the distribution system within Banjul and the like. Some of those installations were installed in 1970, 1960, when it was just, the system was just like a standby generator that you have in your house. And this is what has been expanded, a standby system to take care of an entire nation over time. And that's what MD said, the adequate infrastructure is not in place. And the expectations are high. And this has not been communicated to the public to the extreme, so that at least they know what we are operating. NAWEC staff are suffering, because what they have, you compare the Gambia and Senegal, that outages are not happening there because the systems are different. Senegal have 3 levels. You have the 225, you have the 90, and then you have the 30 kV system. Then you get to this distribution. Any fault at the distribution level, you will not see it at the higher level. And that's why even our 225, those in the provinces, they can see the stability in Soma, the stability in the other area. Because the outages that they are having are very minimal compared to the GBA that we have here. And having said that, we have also expanded on our offloading system. When you transmit, you have to transform your system to a usable voltage. And we had series of inadequacy. That is, when you have the capacity available, you cannot offload everything. You load it, because for instance, Bijilo, those who were in Bijilo area, you can see a year ago, even when the capacity is there, we had to go and load it, because the capacity for the transformation is not there. It is not adequate. So we have embarked on that by upgrading some of those transformers. Where you have a 5 MVA, we are putting in a 10 MVA. Where you have a 10 MVA, we are putting in a 20 MVA. And this project has started, and it is at an advanced stage. We'll be able to at least evacuate all the power that we have within the system without doing load setting to our system. The other issue, that is the upgrade in the GBA system. The other issue that we are embarking on is to expand electricity to every Gambian. And we have different projects. We have the ECORIP, we have the JIP, we have Backbone 1 and Backbone 2. And these 5 projects are to ensure every Gambian will have access to electricity. If you don't have it in your house, your community will have access to electricity. We are electrifying the entire Gambia by 2025, inshallah, because these are all committed projects that are all already in the implementation phase. Not only that, we are trying to stabilize the system. You have electricity, but it has to be reliable, reliability and quality, because this is why the upgrades that we are doing to ensure that the low voltage that some of our customers are still suffering from will also be eliminated. In a nutshell, this is what we are doing. And also, yes, I forgot the NCC. Presently, in all our primary substations and all our network, we operate manually. You need a vehicle when there is a problem to run all the way to Sanyang, all the way to Gunjur to isolate certain areas. But with the NCC, when it is commissioned, you will be able to visualize the voltage, the current that is being transmitted into your line. Not only that, you can sit in that NCC, the National Control Center, and monitor and then control. That means control, you switch off. You see, wherever you feel there is a problem, you can, by a trigger of a button on your computer, you'll be able to isolate some of those areas. And those are all key achievements that we are working on. And equally on the power generation, you know, energy mix. I know fossil fuel, you know, most of the time these are issue, lubricants and the like. And this has bearing to our foreign currency, to our dollars. And whenever we procure, you see what the market, you know, experience, because NAWEC is big. Fuel, lubricants, spare parts, all those things, you have to procure them on hard currency. And what you are getting is the dollars. And definitely we are faced with a lot of problems. This is why we have diversified to ensure that we have renewable energy that will help us. At least the initial capital, yes, is intensive, but when you have it, at least it will help you to minimize the cost of kilowatt per hour. And this is why we have just commissioned a 23 megawatt power in Jambur that is operational, and it is the best. That means the frequency control is there, because you know the sun, you are not in charge of it. But when the sun goes down, you have the battery to take care of that intermittent, so that at least your system is stable. And this is one of the best in the world that we are bringing to the Gambian population. Thank you.
Thank you very much, MD Mr. Sedi, for giving an update on the current issues and also empathizing with the public in terms of what the people are experiencing now. And also, Mr. Gallo, this is Gallo. Also, thank you very much for also giving us an update on the current situation and also what plans you have in place, to address all these challenges that are ongoing now. And now we have also another expert from NAWEC by the name Marlene Robert, to also give us an update. Marlene?
Good morning, everyone, and thanks for having me. My name is Marlene Roberts. I'm the Chief Operating Officer for the Water and Sewage Business Unit. We recognize that there's a lot of community at the moment that is undergoing some issues with their water supply, whether or not it is intermittent or whether or not there's no water supply. For that, we say sorry. However, and as the MD previously alluded to, there is light of the tunnel. Currently, we have 3 projects on hand. We have a project from the World Bank, which is supporting our infrastructure. They're currently having, they will be creating about 5 boreholes within the Brikama well field that will support the Brikama treatment plant. It will also support communities within the provincial area. They're also upgrading and rehabilitating some of our water storage tanks like in the Brikama Nemasu area and in the Banjul area. So that will help to boost our storage capacity within the network. We also have another project, which is the OIC project, which should have been commissioned prior to the OIC. Unfortunately, it was not. But nevertheless, that project is still on, where we will have 13 boreholes. We will also have a treatment plant within the Sangyan area, and some of that water will also pump into the GB area to supply the Bijilo and the Brusabe Tranquil area. There's also another project which is funded by the French Development Bank, which is the WASIP project. Now the objective of the WASIP project is 3-phased. Phase 1 is where they rehabilitate the existing infrastructure that is currently not functional. And this is, for example, tanks that have been bypassed and other infrastructural upgrade of pumps, etc. Now that project is It's in its advanced stage, which is the phase 1, is the advanced stage of procurement, and we hope to have those works implemented and construction and put back in operation by the end of 2025. So that project, what it will do, it will restore your system to its intended mode of operation, meaning some areas that usually get water that is currently not getting water will start having their water. Now there's a second phase of that project, which is a more medium-term project, where they'll be looking to drill approximately 10 shallow boreholes within the Quito-Sifa area. A treatment plant will be built in that area, and they will also be looking to develop 4 what they call mastrition boreholes. Now those are very deep boreholes, anywhere from about 450 meters to approximately 600 meters in depth. And those boreholes will be better boreholes that will be used to augment and supply the area. The third phase of that project is to develop a complete master plan for the water supply, not only within the GBA, but also within the provincial area. You heard the MD alluded to the electricity roadmap. Now the master plan is similar to that, where it will direct how the water sector will grow in supplying the Gambian population with water supply. So there are projects in the background to help to bridge the gap in the not have and the have, so that everyone can have. Now these projects aim to supply the population up to 2030, and the master plan will look to direct how we grow the water sector up to the year 2050. So those are some of the projects. But nonetheless, outside of those donor-funded projects, the business unit, water business unit within NAWEC are also embarking on smaller little projects where we're targeting individual areas that may be having issues and developing our own boreholes to help supplement. Recently, we did one in Nemasu, and those people are having water. Also in the Bundung area, this borehole is expected to be transmitted up to the Bundung area. It will not alleviate the problem, but it will go a long way in improving the existing situation. So as I stand here, I can only ask the Gambian people, please be patient with us. We are working behind the scenes. You may not have realized the benefits yet, but it is to come. So please, accept our apologies and work with us to try and get it. And I just want to make it clear here, all the assets that NAWEC owns and operates belong to the Gambian people. Over time, we've been experiencing a lot of vandalism, especially with our boreholes. Now, if one borehole goes down, it can affect a wide area of people. So we're also asking the Gambian people to be vigilant. Where you have NAWEC assets within your community, let us all take care of it together and be vigilant and make sure no one damages the asset. It is ours. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you very much, Marlon, for that update. The good thing about this is sharing the information. Now that the people are actually realizing that. I mean, NAWEC has actually accepted the hardship that the people are going through, but then they've also had some plans and concrete plans for that matter, to address all that. So with all these, projects that have been, alluded to, if they're, implemented, the problem that the people are going through would be a thing of the past. So thank you very much for that update. Now, we go on to higher education. We have Professor Per Gomez in our midst and his team. And then can we have a professor also to come and give an update? Yeah. Yes, you can come to the front seat.
Good morning. Thank you very much. While the technicians are fixing the laptop, I want to seize this opportunity to congratulate the Honorable Minister of Information, Dr. Ismail Cisse and his team for the foresight, for the excellent initiative to really having this dialogue between the policymakers and the Gambian people through the media, who are agents of change for development. So, Honorable Minister, congratulations. And we are duty-bound as policymakers to come out from our comfort zone and be talking to our people, those that we are serving. Also want to use the opportunity to thank the MD of NAWEC and the rest of the team for the explanation. They are very, very clear, and the plans. So we encourage you for this, for the work that you're doing. Want to also thank the MOHAS team that is here, the permanent secretary, deputy permanent secretaries, and the directors. They are all here. So that whenever I do not get it right, they will all rush to come and rescue me and help. Okay, you know. So I want to also thank the media for being around. What I intend to do is give you a rundown of some of the issues, and in a PowerPoint format, so you can follow through the presentation. And then later, when I conclude, the permanent secretary, Dr. Yusufa Toure, will come on board and really give a rundown of issues. Maybe in the process, I must have forgotten certain issues, so that you get the maximum piece of info regarding the whole process. The first, the presentation will try to look at the different activities from our different satellite institutions. And obviously, we'll start with the University of the Gambia. As you all know, the Gambia government finally, under the instruction of His Excellency President Barrow, was able to deliver Faraba as expected, and we were told that it was irreversible, and phase 1 was delivered, and now the School of Arts and Sciences, School of Education, School of Business and Public Administration, School of Information and Communication Technology, the library, 7 isolated villas and 1 married villa, external works and an electricity, power station, and water and waste treatment plants are all available here at Faraba, all delivered. But this is just lot 1. We haven't done. We are also planning to have lot 2, and lot 2 is the Chancery Building, the Faculty of Law, the School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, and other external works. So, God willing, end of next year, we hope to go back to Faraba and inaugurate this infrastructure. The Chancery Building is going to be 7 stories. 7 stories. That's going to be the Chancery Building. No longer, I'm seeing among the journalists, the UTG students and other stuff and so on. So they know what it's called, the Chancery Building. So the one we are talking about is Musulen Gogis Spen. So you're going to have a different one. But all these things, it's not only the structure, but state-of-the-art equipment. So that's what it's going to. And the other issue also is we're going to have the dormitories, and that is, this will be built by MRC Holland Foundation, and they will be, this is going to be at zero cost to government. This, you all know MRC Holland Foundation is a key partner of the Gambia government. We have to be very strategic. The others that I talked about, these are loans. You and I are going to pay for that. So, but we cannot to spend millions. This is over $150 million. Do the maths to do conversion in dollars to know how much the Gambia government, under the leadership of His Excellency President Barrow, is spending on UTG alone. So if we now have to add other stuff and like the dormitories, hey, even our children will find it difficult to pay that. So we have to be very strategic. So working with other partners, and you will later see the strategy that we are using, you know, because our budget from the national coffers will not help us really address some of these issues. So we need to look at all these things. So the dormitories for the students at Faraba Banta will be built by MRC Holland Foundation. And you all know MRC Holland Foundation. They are very serious. So when they start, very rapidly, things will work. They are now working on the design as I'm talking to you. So, and once that is done, they will just award the contracts, and within some months, they will start delivering. So the other one also is, you must have noticed some months ago, His Excellency President Barrow received the Secretary General of the Organization of Southern Cooperation, OAC, based in Addis Ababa in Ethiopia. And during that visit, we engaged him. And then later, we went to Addis and signed an MOU with this organization. And they're planning to build 2 regional research centers, okay? One in the, around the Latin Americas and so on, and the other one in Africa. So we're able to convince them that the one for Africa, for it to be built in the Gambia, and so that it will serve as a hub for the rest of Africa as a research center. So where you'll have other scholars from other parts of the continent who will be working here in the Gambia. So we work with them and sign an MOU. They have agreed. So they're going to build the center, and we also propose that we don't want it to be built anywhere else apart from at UTG, that is at Faraba Banta, for it to serve as a center, as a research center. But it will serve everybody, not only UTG. UTG is just housing it as a space, but other scholars from other countries will be working there. So not necessarily the UTG staff. So it's going to be semi-autonomous also, because it's going to be an intergovernmental organization. So today, that's what we have, and we started working with them on the different areas of research that we'll work on. The other one is the Gambian. My PS is always very, very particular about this one. So this one is going to be also a game changer. We are working with MOGDI, Ministry of Digital Economy, to really work on the digitalization of our systems within the higher education fraternity and ecosystem. So this is creating an opportunity to link educationists and researchers with their counterparts in other parts of the globe. And that will also address the issue of connectivity, because this will going to give the researchers and students high-speed connectivity. And the other thing also is, and that's the novelty, once it is done, roll out, you can, all our tertiary and higher education institutions will get that internet connectivity. And it means also, if you are at Gambia College or MDI, you go to UTG, you can have access to internet without asking for the password. You will have to use your password at Gambia College or MDI to have access, because it's going to be a national network. Better than that, if you also find yourself, let's say, you come from UTG, you go to UK or to America, you go to some of the universities that have the same system, you can also have access to their internet. For instance, you go to Oxford and they have this similar system. You can have access to internet without asking for the password. You just need to use your UTG password and then you have access. The same thing to those at Gambia College, MDI, USET, and so on. And this will be made available to all our tertiary and higher education institutions. That's the ultimate objective. Because this is what is happening in the West. This is something that we want to have in the Gambia, and we are working on it. It's a project. It's a regional project. Okay, so that is what we intend to work on. The other one is, by the way, before I finished UTG, we also thinking of working on the School of Medicine, also constructing the School of Medicine at Faraba. Right now, we've done the concept note. We've also now working on the feasibility studies and then go for resource mobilization. The cost is over $43 million just for the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences alone. Because the design of the Faraba Banta campus did not include the School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences. And right now, the School of Medicine is rejecting over 60 to 70% of qualified candidates. And the reason is because of lack of space. So you will have people applying at UTG. School of Medicine and Allied Health Science at UTG is very competitive. They will take only 30 to maximum 40%. So 60 to 70% of qualified people are rejected. Not because they are not qualified, but because they cannot take that, more than the number that they can afford, okay, because of space and other realities. So what we are thinking is building new structures for them, having more space, but also giving them what they never had, state-of-the-art medical laboratories, so that things will improve. That's what we are heading to. And in the coming weeks, we will finalize the feasibility studies, and then with the Ministry of Finance, go for resource mobilization. They're just waiting for us on that. Instruction is given by His Excellency President Barrow. This is also in addition to what we were talking about earlier on. So the other thing also is now USET. This is another area, University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology, formerly GTTI, Gambia Technical Training Institute. So for the benefit of everybody, we no longer have GTTI in our books. We have USET, okay? So GTTI does not exist, okay, anymore. We have USET, University of Applied Science, Engineering and Technology. And then I will explain, they have three components. So first component is the College of Science and Engineering. And this, we are building the campus in Brikama behind Gambia College. You've seen what we are doing, we've done at Faraba. That's for UTG. We're now building something also for USET at Faraba, and God willing, this year, we will all go there and inaugurate. So it's a year of inauguration, okay? 2024. Remember what I told you? 2024, year of delivery. So we need to deliver. That's what the Gambian people expect of us, and that's the marching orders given to us by His Excellency President Barrow. So we will deliver. So 2024, we delivered Faraba, and this 2024, God willing, we must deliver USET in Brikama. So we'll be there in the coming months to really finish the work. So the College of Engineering is the one that is based in Brikama. That's the one we are building now. Currently, they are here in Ojo Shuang. But it has, for the time being, three components. You know, the civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electrical and electronics engineering. By the way, end of this year, the first cohort of engineers will graduate, will complete, which means that we will be making history. It means since 1965, since we got independence, this will be the first time we will produce homegrown engineers. We now understand the technical problem we are having and so on. These road networks and all, most of them are non-Gambians. I keep on saying that we have a technical problem, and the technical problem must have a solution, and the solution is a system of containment. And that system of containment, you must have Gambians qualified. So when you get these loans and so on and so forth, you give it to Gambians, and you pay them, they do the work. So the money stays. So everybody now enjoys. But if the money comes, you're paying to non-Gambians, the money goes out. Then people will be, youths will say, Anna Halisby, and this and that and that. Halisby them now. Because we do not have the capacity to contain it. So the best solution and the sustainable response is to train our people. Hence, human capital. You cannot develop if you do not train your people. That's the best investment you can do. So for us, this is our matching orders. So you have the students currently, as among the engineers, 193. Imagine moving from 0 to 193 possible engineers in these different areas. For your info, what we've done is through the World Bank, the ACE, the Africa Center of Excellence project, we signed contracts with Kwame Nkrumah University in Ghana. They are the one sending their professors to coming to lecture the engineering program. We also signed a contract with the Montfort University in Leicester in the UK to be sending their professors here to be also running the entrepreneurship component of the program here at USET. Because the program that we are running is an engineering program, but it's an engineering that has entrepreneurship embedded. So every year, you must take classes on entrepreneurship. We will not wait for you to finish, then come and give you a lecture on entrepreneurship and so on. What you are studying, you start thinking of how to process that. Because the ultimate objective is to have job creators, not job seekers. When you come out, yes, if you are employed by government and others, it's fine. But that's not the ultimate objective. The ultimate objective is for you to be able to employ yourself and employ others. So that's the model, for it to be more hands-on and respond to the needs. So the curricula also is developed along that line. And in the process also, we've sent some of the USET staff for training elsewhere in different universities at PhD level, okay? And so that they can help in that regard. And whilst we send our people out for training, we also sign an agreement with Nigeria, the government, the Federal Republic of Nigeria, and under the attack corps, so that they will help us. So that's why you noticed recently, for instance, they sent us 11 full professors and senior lecturers in engineering. And 7 others will be coming later and making it 18. This is unprecedented. 18 professors and senior lecturers in engineering for USET. In essence, as I'm talking to you, with that number and the people they have more than what they need in terms of manpower. I know my gender people will always tell me I should not say manpower, the capacity, let's put it that way, the personnel, and so on. Okay? So this is what is happening. But the good thing is, the Gambia is not going to pay their salaries. It is Nigeria. They will be here for 2 years, and it can be extended. But it's Nigeria who will be paying their salaries. What we will do is to take care of their accommodation and their local transport. That's the only thing, nothing else. And you all know how to pay a professor of engineering. And I'm here with the Nawe people, they know. Most of these professors and so on, most of them want to be working with NAWEC and other companies and so on and so forth than coming to be in the classroom, because they will get more money outside than being in the classroom. So this is what we are doing, but thanks to the advice and directive of His Excellency President Barrow, we were able to get this support from Nigeria. So the other, I told you the first component of USET is the College of Engineering, and I mentioned those programs. The second component of USET is the Institute for Technical Training, and this one is what replaces indirectly the former GTTI. Okay, we call it now the ITT, Institute for Technical Training. And there, but we've decided to expand it. So it is not just at this place in Kanifing or Old Joshua. So 2 issues there. We have existing campuses. You have the USET campus, which is a multi-purpose here in Joshua, Old Joshua, yeah. Then you also have the recently, completed multi-purpose TVET center in Demban, in Ifonyi. We also have the USET Kanilai campus. That one will be inaugurated very soon, and next semester they will start their lectures also. You also have the USET Mansakonko campus. It's all multi-purpose. And then also you have the Julangel campus in Basset. So it's also multi-purpose. They are all USET, under USET. So USET has the campus here, but also they have regional campuses. But in addition to this existing one, we are now having new campuses. Remember, this is a journey, a development journey, an academic journey. So we are now proposing new campuses, also TVET campuses. We're thinking of having 2 in CRR. One will be at Pachar campus. It will be specialized now. It's not going to be multi-purpose, but specialized. That's agribusiness. And then the other one going to be at Wasu is going to be multi-purpose. Okay, CRR North. Then now you have one in the Combos here. Is going to be a specialized TVET center on fisheries. These ones never existed since independence. Remember what we are doing. We want to feed ourselves. We are not talking about food security. We are talking about food sovereignty. That's the agenda. You cannot do that if you don't have the personnel that can do it. So we've identified some sites, and already that's going to take place very soon, and through the World Bank project. So the funds are available. So we will going to do the construction very soon. So whilst we are working on the construction, since we don't have many specialists in these areas, we've decided to now send some of our youths outside for training. We need to prepare them for that rendezvous. That's why we sent 10 youths to Malawi, because they have a center of excellence, World Bank identified center of excellence on agribusiness and fisheries. And the Gambia government is the one paying for them. They have tuition fees and their stipends and everything, 10 of them, to read agribusiness and fisheries at master's level. In addition to that number, 15 of them again have been identified and waiting now for any, the signal for them next semester also to go to, this time to Turkey for training on fisheries and agribusiness, which means within 2 years, we will have in this country minimum of 25 specialists on agribusiness and fisheries at master's level in different areas of specialization on fisheries alone, and also agribusiness. This is the agenda. This is the vision. When they come, they will now work with the team that we have to really do that work. So this is what we're having. And then in addition to that, for North Bank, they will be having a TVET center also. But this time around, we want to get the private sector, and we work with the Ahmadiyya Mission, who wanted to build a TVET center at Nusrat. We were able to convince them that Nusrat is Nusrat. So whatever you do at Nusrat will remain Nusrat. So, and we would want to encourage them to go post-secondary, because when it comes to education, they stop at secondary level. So we wanted them to go post-secondary, and they really bought the idea. And now we took them to North Bank at Muguma and got a land for them. And now they gave them the papers. So waiting for them now to do the construction. Their headquarters have already given the green light. Approval is done. They're working on the logistics. And then later they will do the construction. And you all know the Ahmadiyya Mission, Nusrat and Masrur and other their schools, you know, they are centers of excellence. They are very good institutions. So they will also bring quality education in the North Bank. I know the Kiankas will launch a counter-attack against the Badibunkers. So we'll see what will be the results of that battle. Yes, the other third component now of USET is the Institute of Innovation and Entrepreneurship. So that is there. You have at Kanifing, Joshua, you have the Kanifing Hub, the Foundry, the Vocational Training Center, and also through UNDP, we're working with UNDP now to come up with Uniport there, and they're going to really fund it. Already done. Now they are working on the procurement issue, and very soon they're going to get that one also. And KOICA, the Korean Development Agency, also supported with 3D printers and computer lab and so on. This is something that is there. You have also the Brikama. Once the campus is ready, we're going to also have a World Bank established innovation hub there, because in essence, most of our TVET centers, key regional TVET centers, we're going to also have innovation and entrepreneurship hubs. So in Brikama, behind the college where you have the USET campus, you're going to have a World Bank established innovation hub equipped with state-of-the-art materials aligned with the 3 engineering programs that we talked about earlier on. That is mechanical engineering, civil engineering, and electrical electronic engineering. All other hubs will be connected to this hub for capacity building and collaborative support. The PACHAR in CRR, also with the agribusiness, also will have an agribusiness innovation hub, so funded by the World Bank project, the RISE project. And then also we'll be having some technical assistance in that regard. In the combos also with the fisheries TVET center that we're going to have is going to have the same thing also. These hubs will facilitate internship, mentorship, incubation, and startups. We also going to expecting to have a second phase of the KOICA project with that is the Korean Development Agency. It phased out in December, the first phase, and it was very satisfactory. And now they're coming up to support some activities. And this phase will not only build the Gambia Tibet Empowerment Center, GTEC. This is a novelty, it never happened in this country, but they will, through the KOICA project, we're going to build GTEC, and we're going to build it in Brikama at the campus there.
9 more minutes.
Okay, thank you. So we'll conclude very soon. Let me fast track it then. We're going to have it there, and then also we'll be training Tibet teachers. Right now, we don't have that. We don't have Tibet teachers. We don't train Tibet teachers. What is happening is you do go to a Tibet center, you get your certificate, your diploma, and with the experience, you will come and then teach again. So you don't, most of them don't have something higher than what they are teaching, the level that they are teaching. So with this project, we want to address that, to also train teachers for the Tibet program, not just for the general education. Then also, this will be made available with the industry and equipping and for equipment testing and quality control. The Gambia College, as you know, we are planning to transform it. It's already been approved by Cabinet to transform it into a University of Education. So the Gambia College has 4 schools, and 3 of their schools will be moved to the University of Gambia. School of Nursing, School of Public Health will go to the University of the Gambia, School of Medicine and Allied Health Sciences, and then also Gambia College School of Agriculture will be moved to UTG School of Agriculture and Environmental Sciences, and School of Education of Gambia College will be upgraded into University of Education, and UTG School of Education will also be transferred to the Gambia College. They form, all these 2 institutions will form now the new University of Education, so that we all have one public University of Education. Right now, as I'm talking to you, we left the team that is working on the implementation. They are given only 4 months now to now work on the roadmap, so that immediately after that, then we'll now start the implementation. So we've already gotten the report on the transformation with a different committee, and we're having other support. So there will be different faculties that will be there, and departments as stated here. We're also expecting funding to be able to now review the curricula, refurbish classrooms and labs, build staff capacity, and develop a projection and simulation model of the nation's education system. By the way, that process is on now, but this time is going to be handled by UNESCO in Paris. They are the one going to work on the simulation. What we are trying to do is we need to have a system that is informed by data. So from nursery school to PhD, we need to be able to have a vision, a clear projection. And that simulation model should be able to tell us, based on the right data, how to now work on some of these activities. So that when you wake up, you don't just take decisions anyhow, but those decisions are informed by data. And we prefer to leave it with UNESCO, with their Institute of Planning in Paris, to be able to do that exercise. Right now, they are working with MOPSI and MOHAS to be collecting the data and be able to now do the proper simulation model to that effect. And we also get funding that will help us later to support the college in some of the activities. And the GTEC, as I mentioned, will be taken care of. We are working with the European Union also for the Gambia College Basse campus also to be supported, especially for the female gender, for scholarships and so on. MRC Holland Foundation has been engaged, and we closed the the dormitories at the college because they were not they did not meet our expectation. We have to close it down, and it's been renovated, it's completed. But then we are going further now to build 2 new story buildings for the students, for dormitories and so on, among others. We will increase, but this is something, this is also unprecedented, like the GTEC that I mentioned. The MDI, as you must have noticed, has been also transformed into university, civil service university, and we will be having some programs that will help really respond to the professionalization of the civil service. You've been hearing about the civil service transformation and so on. So that to be done, you need also to have an academic institution that will help really support that with the professional training and so on. So before talking about NACA, the last one, you are aware that we were working on some bills and they are ready currently at the National Assembly. We now have the famous Student Revolving Loan Scheme. So the bill is sent to the National Assembly. The Tertiary and Higher Education Trust Fund, the National Research and Innovation Fund, all these 3 funds, these are novelties. They never existed. And, but in addition to that, you also have the famous Skills and Innovation and Entrepreneurship Fund that His Excellency launched some weeks ago. It's a World Bank project that will help us really address some of the needs. So these are different activities, and NACA is also, this is the technical arm. NACA is part of the ministry, but it's the technical arm of the ministry. They are the one doing the accreditation of programs and institutions and so on. Their personnel also have been sent to different universities also for capacity building in different areas. So we are among the few countries that have the GNQ, the National Qualification Frameworks, that will help to streamline the curricula and the competencies and so on. And this is also, it has recognized prior learning and so on. So I know we have other issues, but let me just stop here but thank you for listening, and also thank once again the Honorable Minister and his team for the opportunity to share with you what we are doing. But later, you know, I would suggest you allow my PS to just, because I must have forgotten some other issues, though I've been a bit long, but he will tell you more. He's the technician. Thank you.
You don't need this, huh?
No, you can't. All right. Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers, Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology, and Information, my colleagues here, senior government officials, the press, my team from the Ministry of Higher Education, Research, Science and Technology. It's like the professor has spoken, and I am seeing you would want to have time for questions, so I would make it very brief. We have 1 or 2 issues I would want to address. That is the OSC. OSC is the Organization of Southern Cooperation, where countries in the South, you know, are coming together, and they are saying, okay, let us have research facilities in the world. And for a start, they want to have 2. They've selected Latin America and Africa, and the one coming to Africa, Gambia, has been selected for that. You imagine during the COVID, the South found it very difficult to come with, you know, vaccines for their people, and most of the vaccines, if you were following, were developed by organizations that had these, you know, experts from the South. they contributed immensely in the development of those vaccines. So a situation where you would have a research center in the Gambia that would invite or would have those top-notch, researchers, to come and look at, very many, issues, across climate change, agriculture, the economy, policy issues. That's a great thing for the Gambia because we are hosting them. In as much as they would look at issues around the world, the Gambia would be a priority. So it's a big opportunity for us. Just yesterday we had a meeting with them, to look at the cost implications, the type of facility they are going to build, for the Gambia, what would that cost, and also to start, because we don't have to wait until the building is up there, for them to start. They would use the university, some facilities there, and they would have the professors, the researchers, that would come over. And this would, in fact, create some, employment for some of our own people, in the Gambia here to start the process. So that's ongoing. The Gambian, he said, the minister said, I've been very passionate about it. But I have somebody here who is, or some people here who are much more passionate. That is the Directorate of Science and Technology at the ministry. They are the focal persons for this, and they've been working, assiduously, with the Ministry of, Digital Economy. Currently, we've initiated the procurement process. So we are hopeful that by December, University of the Gambia would have started, something around this. And like the Honorable Minister said, you imagine a situation where you go to France, and because there is a French university in this program, you don't have to pay for internet. You can browse anyhow you like, you can, or you work from UTG to Gambia College, you don't have to ask anybody for their password. You will just log on and then move on. But the beauty about it is you can transport any amount of data. You can transfer any amount of data, if you are doing research with a colleague in another country. You imagine a research situation where you have, medical, personnel, the amount of data, that would have. How do you transfer that? With your 5 meg and the normal 6 meg, you can get from AfriCell or QCell. That will not be able to do that. But here we are thinking of jigs in terms of, your ability, to transfer data from, one place to another. So it's a great thing, and I think we should thank the World Bank, for that gesture. And finally, I would probably talk about the 10 students in Malawi. They've gone very far. I must also indicate that when we are selecting them, we went for the best. During the selection process, we peg it at a GPA of 3.5, and above. So these students are already in their research proposals. They are defending the research proposals. So we are hopeful by, early next year they would all finish, and they would come back and they would start the process. So the agribusiness and the, fisheries, the Honorable Minister spoke about, we would have the personnel, who would be able to manage these institutions, immediately we build them. And the good thing is that we already have the money secured, through the World Bank project. So as we speak, the, Safeguard, are doing the due diligence, and it is hoped that by August towards September, they will present a report, and the constructions will start probably after the rains. So that said, I would want to give you back the floor.
Thank you.
And then wait for the questions for the
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Minister Professor Pierre Gomis, for sharing, for this update, and Pierre's Toure. I believe the media would would agree with me that the problem that they were having in terms of having the relationship with the government, saying that they have, they don't have information. It's actually now the coin has been turned down. Now you're having information overload, I believe. Do you agree with me on that? Because of the information that is coming out from government now is quite alarming. So I will seize the opportunity to thank Honorable Minister Ismail Assise for this initiative. So from now on, I think we can now move on to the next stage of the press conference, that is the question and answers. So if you have the mic, Zainab, can we, yeah.
All right, sure,
so we can have question and answer system, session now.
Thank you. As the chief journalist in the Gambia, as Minister of Information, and I also double as the chief journalist, I take the privilege to ask the first question. 2 for Nawek and 1 for the professor. For Nawek, when do you think, we've had all the beautiful projects that you mentioned that you are doing, the master plan. Gambians want to know, when do you think, you can put a date, when we'll now turn our backs on electricity costs and water problem? When do you think now Gambians will have uninterrupted electricity on a universal basis in the Gambia? If we can get a deadline for that. The second thing is a clarification. I was having a radio program yesterday and I opened the lines, and a few people called to say that even though they've not been having water for the past 7 months, yet they are receiving bills, water bills. I want them to clarify why is that happening. Now for the professor, I'm thinking of impact. Wasu, Kanilai, Mansa Konko, all these TVET centers. When do we think we'll see the impact? When will these TVET centers and the programs we study there translate into actual jobs for young people? So we can be able to now increase our job employment rate in this country. These are my 2 questions. Thank you.
Honorable, thank you very much.
You can go. You have to. Who's handling this?
Honorable Minister, thank you very much for your question. I guess I need to give a time frame to all the promises we are making and all the projects we said are on the pipeline. So if you are going to hold me accountable, I need to make sure that the time I'm going to give you is realistic. And what I would put on the table here today is 24 months. That's about 2 years' time. Within the next 2 years, we will get to where we want to get to, even if it is not 100%, but we would have gone up to at least minimum 90%. So that's the promise I would like to make today. So if we can achieve all these projects within the next 24 months, most of these outages will be will be a thing of the past. I'm not going to say that it's going to be 100%. No country in this world gets it 100%. Even our neighbors here, they are more resourced. They have more resources. They are more advanced, and they still have these power outages, and they still have these load sheddings. But with all the projects that we have in place and the vision that is set for the country by His Excellency, I would say within the next 24 months, we will almost be there. So that's my take on it. That's your first question. Your second question, I have here Matar, who is on the commercial side. He's the senior manager here, responsible for the commercial section. So Matar, I would like if you would like to address the second question. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Honorable Ministers. Okay, for the question of people who are not having water and still receiving bill. Okay, we have what we call minimum charge. It's like a rental. If you have a service, once you have a service to us, there is something called rental charges, even if you are not using the water. Now, most of the time, if you look at the bill properly, you will see that the previous bill and the previous reading and the current reading are the same, but we still charge a minimum charge. That's 163 now. It used to be 139. So for most of the places where there is not, we have very few places where there is no complete water. Some areas they have, but probably they will have at night, very late at night, due to the pressure problems and all that stuff. So what we do is, if you don't need or you are vacating your house, you can apply for what we call voluntary disconnection, and then we can stop billing you for that period until when you need the service back. Yeah, thank you very much.
Well, the impact, as you must have noticed, is something that will start now, this year. I've told you that for the engineering, the first cohort will graduate this year, end of this year. And obviously, that's from 0 to certain number. And then also, you are aware of the World Bank project, the RISE project, and we're going to support the students. And it means very soon we will see call for application to the different TVET centers where they will now apply. This time we're going to use the first window, that's on scholarships, giving them money so that they can study and pay for their tuition fees and so on and so forth, among other issues. So that will be something they're going to feel this year, in the coming months, so from the RISE project. So then the other thing also is, you've seen this year the inauguration of first phase of Faraba. This year also you will see the inauguration of the USET campus, among others. Then also this year you will see the construction of the specialized TVET center in Pachar, among others. So the support will be there. And obviously, there will be also other support through that project, especially the skills, innovation and entrepreneurship fund. That one is targeting the youth. So they will be given support, especially with the first window. The second window will be also helping with the curriculum for the institutions. But the third one is also startups. Startups, to help them to really have their own business, because that's the objective, so that they can feed themselves, feed their family, feed the nation. So this is something that is going to be possible this year, and they will also get the support. So the program, the way it is done, it should be hands-on, so that when you come out within 6 months, really, you should be able to be functional. This is what we are working on. Thank you.
Can you announce your name and then the institution you're coming from?
So my first question goes to now.
Yeah, my first question goes. Yeah. So now, really is not something new. Like, you see, one of the reasons why people don't trust now, or lack of confidence, is now it always gives commitment and never fulfilled. Like at the beginning of this region, the commitment was 2025, and now it's giving us 24 months. So for me, the question is, how many megawatts? We want to go home and inform the public better. How many megawatts of electric does NOREC supply, and what is the demand? As far as how much do they supply and what is the demand right now? And why still communities have to receive or get water supply in all hours?
Thank you. We'll take 3 questions and then we'll give the chance to answer.
So thank you very much. My name is Estukuli from Ghana Talents TV. My question goes to the Honorable Minister of Higher Education. You made a visit to post-secondary education Arabic or madrasa institutions in the country a week ago. So that was not highlighted during your delivery. So we want to know your visit to those Islamic universities and the outcome of the visit of those.
Next.
Good morning. My name is Yahya Jammeh from VOD, and my question would be directed to NAWEC. I would like to know what strategies does NAWEC have in place to improve customer service and address any challenges faced by customers in accessing water and electricity services.
So thank you. NAWEC can go first.
Thank you very much for your question, Mr. Jallo. It's unfortunate that you are alleging NAWEC to give wrong information. Electric energy is very, very difficult to predict. It all depends on the on the load forecast, and sometimes you forecast and the connection increase double full, and this is what is happening after the 2017 political dispensation. What was expected and what is happening presently, it's completely different. Our present load, available load demand is 100 megawatts. And we have 30 megawatt from car power. We have 50 megawatt from NAWEC own production, and we are importing 50 megawatt from Senelec, meaning our capacity, the available capacity is enough for the connected load. And our problem is the network. Yes, we should have commissioned the 225 by 2022. Unfortunately, as was mentioned initially, it could not happen because of safeguard issues, because you have to compensate, and the bank is not compensating, it is government. You have budgetary issues, you have other issues with the landlord, that is the landowners. You have to negotiate with them. You cannot force them to relinquish their properties before compensation. And a host of issues, you know, that were beyond NAWEC. But for now, the capacity available is there. But the offloading capacity, that where the problem is. And that's what we are working on. Thank you.
Customer service question.
All right, thank you. As for strategies in place to address some of the customer service challenges and have easy access to our services, I think over the years we have done a lot. NAWEC have taken a bold step for the first time to conduct a customer survey. You know, that's a perception survey to see what, how customers feel about our service delivery and what are the things that they expect from us. And we got a feedback, we got a report on this. There are recommendations on the report. Has alluded to by the directors here. Some of these things require a lot of investment. It cannot happen over time. It has to take some time before we see realize we can do some of these things. But you can realize when it comes to customer service, we have now able to digitize most of our processes. Now you can sit at your comfort zone to apply for either water or electricity. We have what we call self-services. If you go to nawec.gm, you will see a section whereby you can have NAWEC self-services. You can get into there, put your account number, register your account. You will have access to your bills directly, and we can also now send our bills to you through emails. This is what we've been advocating for people to send their emails so that we can stop even sending bills hard copies. We want to be a little bit environmental friendly as well. We can sell emails through bills as well. You can apply for your service, whatever you want. You can lay your complaints and it will be addressed. And you can also send us emails if you want any of your services, and then we will address to you. You don't even have to walk to our branches to do this. And we have also collaborated with third-party vendors now to make sure that vending purchase of gas power electricity is very easy. You can sit at your comfort zone now and buy gas power anytime. Many people in the rural areas don't come to any of NAWEC branches. They can sit, Wave, you have all other third-party vendors that you can sit at your comfort zone. And even our meter reading and bill delivery service. Meter reading formerly used to see people with papers, writing pens, and all that stuff. Now it's different. We have digitized that. You see our meter readers, they come to your house, they have a tablet. They enter the meter reader. Immediately, it's sent to the system directly, and it's billed immediately. So we are also giving control to customers to have access to these things, whereby you can also snap your readings and send it to us. If you have any dispute, you can snap your reading. You don't even have to come to NAWEC. If you go to self-service, you can put your query on, snap your reading, and we will address your problems. So these are some of the steps that we are taking. We are hoping in the future we'll also have AMR systems, whereby you will just go to a distance and the system will just take the reading of at certain range. They can automatically take the readings. And the AMI systems also, we have the AMI systems in our billing system, whereby our meters will be communicating to our systems directly. Anytime there is a fault, it will send a report to us. Anytime it's been tampered, it will send a report to us. So all these things are in place. We are working on it. So once these things are there, we're hoping that our customer service deliveries will be improved. And you have seen that even the customer service centers, we have done spent a lot of money on it. We have done a little renovation on the customer service centers. And we are trying to build new customer service centers as well. So these are the efforts that we are doing in terms of customer service. Thank you.
Thank you. I think your question was, why do you get water late at night? Okay, our network is not the best. So what you find happening is because of some of the pipe sizing and the peak demand during the day, those will be taken. So the pressure gets low by the time it gets to sometimes the extreme of the network. At night, late at night, when the demand is less, the pressure builds up and it's able to push further into the network. You will find in the network sometimes how connections are done. You may have some laterals going for meters, 150 meters, 200 meters. And on that property service connection, you will find another service connection going another 150, 200 meters. That does not help the hydraulics of the network. And where sometimes you have no tank that can feed the system because we're pumping direct, and if power goes, the pump is off, etc. That also affects, and some of these is affected at the extreme of the network. So it has to do with demand and supply. Okay.
Yeah, thank you very much for that question. It's very, very current. Okay, and it's very, very important. Yes, the madrasa, system is something that is very dear to us because they are part and parcel of the education family. And for a long time, within the tertiary and higher education ecosystem, they have not been catered for. And so I've been saying our position is democracy is not about organizing elections alone. Democracy is everybody feeling the development, and the madrasa are part and parcel of that education family. So we've decided now is, in addition to the scholarship that we are giving out to those students from the conventional, education system, we need to have another package. Because right now, we talk about 7 credits, including English and mathematics and so on and so forth. And when you look at it, they are excluded. So most of the time it's these universities, UTG and others and so. So we need to come up with another package to also support those who are in the madrasa. So we're going to support very soon. You will later see our call for scholarships But we need to work with technicians to really address that issue. And then that will help us to be giving out scholarships also. But this one exclusively to those who are in the Islamic universities and colleges here in the Gambia, so that they also get their share of the whole issue. They're doing other programs. It's not just Arabic or Islamic, so they're also doing other programs, but people don't know. And we will work with them so that it is well known to everybody and so on. We also going to work with them and to introduce TVET and STEM in those programs. We are of the view that you can learn Arabic as a medium of instruction, yet you ended up being an engineer, and you can even work with NAWEC. If you go to the Arab world, they did, some of them, they are training in Arabic and so on, but yet you have medical doctors, you have engineers, mechanical engineers, and so on and so forth. That's what we want, so that we diversify the potential. We don't stifle our youths, allow them to express themselves. And the Gambia government is out to support everybody in fulfillment of the democratic principles that we stand for. Everybody, very inclusive, and not to support some and exclude others. This is what we are asked to do, and this is also what we stand for, and that's what we're going to work with technicians in that area to be able to do that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Last set of questions.
Yes, can we have
but
another
again,
set of questions?
I'll use my privilege as the chief journalist. A question just came in from a journalist outside of the Gambia. So I'll use my privilege, please. I'm your boss. Now, a journalist sent a question asking this to NAWEC, that, oh, sorry. Okay, here is the question. Ask why they stopped issuing water bill meters. People are forced to go to their branches to know how much they should pay. That NAWEC is no more issuing water bills. That people are forced to go to their branches to know how much they owe you and how much they should pay. And the question is, or the second question is, and the water meter theft, what are you doing about it? And also the fact that there are shortages in terms of water meters. And what are you doing about it? Thank you. So we will take a round of questions, and then you can come. The final round of questions.
Thank you very much. This is Maulana Choi, a journalist working for QTV Gambia. I have this question for NAWEC. Of course, there are some projects ongoing, and there's an ambitious target for, electricity access nationwide in the country by 2025. But one thing the customers would like to hear also, aside from reliability, the issue is affordability. Of course, the term can be relative to some, but it's affordable. When these projects are completed and there is universal access to electricity, would the customers expect electricity access or supply to be more affordable? Because with 30% increase recently, we understand it is having a ripple effect on the economy going down to the consumers. Do we expect electricity to be more affordable when these projects are completed? Thank you.
Professor, still is Yankuba Jallo for it. Yes, so Section 30 of the Constitution provides for progressive introduction of free education. And since the coming of this government, we introduced payment at the college, and also the UTG payment is still high. And many people believe that it does not tally with the spirit of the Constitution. What will you do about this?
We'll take a final question, from who? Final question.
Thank you. So this is Ntukuli again. I have a question with regards to when Mrs. Roberts was making, he had revelation rather, and which with regards to the OIC project, we want to know what actually caused the delay of the launch of those boreholes that you mentioned, and on water shortage as well. This has been a concern to many Gambians. That is all over. How soon will we see a swift reaction or measures taken by NAREC in terms of supplying water to most of these communities in the Gambia? Thank you.
Who goes first?
Once again, thanks for the questions. I think they are very relevant questions, especially the question about affordability. I think what we all want is what we can afford. You can provide electricity. If people cannot afford it, then what's the point? Are we doing something about it to make it affordable? The answer is yes. I think if you look at electricity generations, there are different mixes of electricity. You have thermal electricity where you are actually buying fuel from outside, heavy fuel. And the cost of fuel is dependent on what is happening out there. We don't produce heavy fuel. Now, also you can have sustainable energy, which is using what you have. We have sun, right? So there's a drive to increase our base load using sustainable energy. So just like my technical director said here before, they have already commissioned a plant which is about 23 megawatts based on solar energy. So there's going to be a tender out here which will be close to 50 megawatts based on solar energy. There's another MOU that was recently signed, which is for around Basse area, which is close to 10 to 27 megawatts based on solar energy. So solar energy is more sustainable into the future, given the technology is now improving. So the question to your answer is, the drive is to try to reduce that cost by going more into sustainable energy and more away from thermal energy. I would like to bring my colleagues to answer your next question in terms of the commercial side.
Okay, thank you very much, MD. The first question was, why do we stop printing bills, right? Okay, we have not stopped printing bills. We just had challenges for the past 2 months. We didn't print bills, but notwithstanding, as I said earlier, we are encouraging people to have different medium of receiving their bills instead of just paper printing. We're encouraging people to send in us their emails so that we can be sending bills through emails. And very soon we'll also introduce the SMS bill send service as well. We understand that some people don't have bills, but majority of people now have Google or something. So if you have Google, most of the time, the Google account, you have an email address to it. So if you can send us those emails, we'll be sending you 2 bills. We haven't stopped printing. We just had some little challenges in bill printing. And then I think by next month, inshallah, the bills will be out as well. Yeah. The other question was the water meter theft. Once we install the water service in your property, now the responsibility becomes yours. This is why when in terms of disaster, we can replace the meters for you. But in terms of theft, that's our collaborative responsibility. If you have a property that is not fenced, or it's not, there is no security around it, you put a water meter there, it's going to be difficult for NAWEC to make sure that we watch over all these meters. That we have over 90,000 meters around the country. So it's going to be difficult, and somebody here is talking about cost. All these things, operations and everything is a cost. So it's going to be difficult if you want to put monitoring aspect to be monitoring all these things. So it's our collective responsibility. We can, as alluded to by the CEO of Water, let's all be vigilant. The assets and the properties of NAWEC belongs to everybody. So once there is a problem, we once had a problem around the Bursubi area, Jabang area and all that. Some people were so supportive. They saw somebody and they reported it, and we handed the matter to the police. So let's all be vigilant. our assets, NAWEC assets belongs to the nation. It belongs to everybody. And the water meters in your property, please, that's your responsibility. Let's take care of that. If it is not in a place that is secured, make sure that you secure it. That's our responsibility. And the other question was, we stopped water applications. Yes, because we had some little challenges in acquiring water meters. So this is why we stopped the applications for now. But we are expecting to resume very soon. We are working on it. Very soon we will resume the applications as well. We just don't want to hold people's money. We feel it's not fair. This is why we have just put a stop to it for the time being. We don't want to hold your money whilst we cannot deliver. That's why we did that. Thank you.
Hi again. I think your question was why it has been delayed through the OIC. So the project came on, but there's a time frame for implementation. You don't just get funding and you start implementing. Yes, you start implementing, but there's a lot of processes up front. You have to do your feasibility studies, you have to do your preliminary designs, your detailed designs, your investigation work, and then you have to go into other procurement processes to source contractors. So all that process took time, and the contract for the implementation of the physical work was signed in November 2023, and the contractor has mobilized to start construction work. So it's not just equipping the boreholes. Yes, the boreholes is there, but those 13 boreholes are meant to pump to a water treatment plant. So all those technical designs, process designs, etc., had to be implemented before you can even commission those systems. So that is the process that is taken, and hence the timeline.
So the delay, is it from the NAWEC side or from the OIC side?
No, it's not a matter of it's delay. It's a process that it takes to go. And you know, all these things were conceptualized, especially during the COVID time. And then this COVID came and everything stands still. So all those upfront processes could not have been implemented. So that was some of the parameters that compounded the time frame. Okay, thanks.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you very much, Ankuwa. We don't think it will be sustainable, you know, to promise Gambians that we're going to give them free education to universities and tertiary and so on. You know, so we're coming from academia, we need to be factual. Even though we want people to be happy, but we have to tell them what is feasible. So it is not realistic to really promise them free education up to university based on the resources that we have. You must have seen the approach we are using is try to invoke Plan B to get resources elsewhere with our development partners and so on. Okay, the Ministry of Higher Education is not getting enough funds from the consolidated fund. It's 0.8%, so it's not enough. But what we are doing is not to be stifled by those limited, resources. Is to now look for support elsewhere through our partners to be able to address some of these issues. And I've highlighted some of these activities that we are doing, and that will help us to continue rendering service to the youths of this country by giving them alternative quality education and so on. One of the strategies is the SIE fund that we have, the Skills Innovation and Entrepreneurship Fund through the World Bank. Because we had to now come up with that and then be able to get funding now. We're going to now support the students, give them money, and then to be able to, it's going to be between $300 to $400, you know, for them to be paying for their tuition fees and do some other things. That is for in the Tibet centers. But also we're going to get funding also for startups. We're going to also get funding for the institutions through that project. But we also, regarding the fees and other stuff, that's the reason why we now coming up with the student loan scheme, the famous student loan scheme. This is to complement the scholarship package that we're going to have. We're not going to eradicate the scholarship completely. We're going to leave it there and more for excellence, okay? And then now the other one now is the loan scheme. And then that will allow people from tertiary and higher education institutions to apply for that support. And you will now have your education. When you complete, maybe you'll be given maybe 1 year to start working and so on and so forth. Then later you start paying in a very reasonable manner so that you will not feel it that much. Okay, so that will be an alternative. That will be more sustainable. And the good thing is it will later serve as a revolving fund because what you were able to pay, and if you put all that together, that will help us to help your brothers and sisters who are coming after. So this is, and in addition to the subvention that government will be giving out and so on. So these are some of the different strategies that we're going to put in place. And that will help to support. And we will also continue engaging our development partners. You see the MRC Holland Foundation is giving out scholarships. But the scholarships is not only the tuition, but they also give stipend, some stipend. They also give laptops also. So these are things that are there. And by the way, they're very, they don't normally owe our institutions. The moment the bill is sent to them, they pay. That's what is, and these are thousands of students. And they are the one roughly, in addition to building the campus in Basse, they also support the students there with tuition fees and so on. And some of them who have challenges, the only thing they're asking them is to buckle up and meet certain requirements, and you get it automatically without any challenges. So these are some of the things that we are working on, and with the support of everybody, we'll be there. But I want to seize this opportunity, since we are concluding, to thank you for coming. Thank once again the Ministry of Information for this brilliant initiative, giving us the platform. And we're very, very grateful for this innovative way of communicating with the people. And also thank brothers and sisters from NAWEC for the job. And thank the Gambia government under the leadership of His Excellency President Barrow for the guidance, and so that we were able to deliver. Yes, as I said, 2024 is a year of delivery, and from the Mohas family, you will hear from us, very soon on other activities and to just inaugurate. Okay, so that we respond to the question by the Honorable Minister, people to see the impact. That's our rendezvous with history and with the Gambian people. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. I think we have now come to the end of the press conference. Let me give the opportunity to Honorable Minister, Dr. Sise, to give the closing remarks.
Thank you very much, Chair. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Honorable Minister of Higher Education, Science, Research, and Technology, for that wonderful presentation and for updating the Gambians. Thank you, and for your entire team as well. Mr. Gallo Sedi, MD of NAWEC, thank you very much, you and your team. We appreciate your coming to update the Gambians. And thank you, everyone, the media houses. The President, His Excellency Adama Barrow, has tasked us to provide Gambians with authentic, relevant, timely information. He wants us to give what they call proactive disclosure, give Gambians the information they need to make informed choices, to promote and enhance transparency and accountability in our drive to consolidate our democracy. We'll be having a rendezvous with you. The next press conference might be in 2 weeks, but just to remind you, next week, the 28th, on Friday at 8 p.m., we'll meet at this venue here at the Karaba Conference Center to do what they call the Mansakunda. The Minister of Agriculture and his entire team, his project coordinators, his satellite institutions will be here to brief Gambians about what they have for the farmers insofar as the farming season is concerned, their priorities, their project. The public will also come and engage the minister and his team to discuss their aspirations and also raise their concerns and get answers to their questions. I thank you very much. For the purpose of logistics, we advise the media personalities to stay, and then we will take care of your logistics. And for the rest of you, I wish you a very, very blessed Friday and a very pleasant weekend ahead. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much for, I forgot about that one. Yeah.